Yes, I'm still here, Hollywood. And coming up on today's episode, she was the heart and soul of one of television's most beloved primetime dramas, portraying a character whose strength, warmth, and moral compass anchored an entire neighborhood for more than a decade. From tackling tough issues on screen to navigating the highs and lows of Hollywood with grace, she became a symbol of resilience both in front of the camera and in real life. This is Still Here Hollywood. I'm Steve Kmetko. Join me with today's guest from the hit TV series Knots Landing, actor Michele Lee. If this is your first time watching or listening to Still Here Hollywood, what took you so long? Even if you're a longtime fan, I have a favor to ask. If you feel it in your heart, please like and follow us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Or if you watch on YouTube, please subscribe. And with both, it would be great if you rated and commented on your favorite episodes. Thank you so much. And now, on with the show. Michele, thanks so much for coming to do our little podcast, Still Here Hollywood. How are you?
I'm so good.
It's nice meeting you.
Oh, my gosh. Please. Steve, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they can read through the lines, between the lines, whatever. First thing I'd like to ask you about is Knots Landing. Is that okay?
To a degree.
To a degree.
Yes.
We're not going to...
Yeah, no. Very successful show.
14 seasons.
Hello.
Do you remember about your first day on set? Now we'll test that memory.
Yeah, I remember one thing. I was smoking at the time, so I was very thin. And when you see pictures of me in this wonderful bathing suit, because I was like 39 years old. And you could see my ribs, my bones, my whatever. That's what I remember about the first episode.
Were you nervous, that first episode?
Probably.
Did you know all your lines?
When I don't, make them up.
Okay. Did you enjoy Knots Landing? You must have for 14 seasons.
Yeah, I was on the show for 14 seasons. It gave me wonderful opportunities because I was able to produce and direct some of the things off of Knots Landing. Okay, and once you're on a show that's successful, they promise you anything, and if you ask, sometimes they give it to you. So my production company was very, very into everything at the time, and I was very serious about it. However, Knots Landing, the show, became less and less interesting to me. Originally, Knots Landing was to be Ingmar Bergman's whatever it was, with people lived their marriages, mm-hmm. and looking into the marriage and what would happen to it through the course of time. And it was wonderful. There were 3 couples at the time on the show, and I had the most fun because we were able to, and one of the reasons they loved the show anyway through all time is that we were able to do romantic comedy. We were able to do pure out comedy and drama and things that would happen in real life, if you will. And my character was so much fun. Don Murray was my first husband, and everybody lauded him on that set. In fact, everyone called him Mr. Murray. So he decided he was going to go off and do his own show that he had written a pilot for. And then my second husband, sorry, this isn't real life now.
Yes.
Calm down. My second husband was Kevin Dobson, who was a joy to work with. And I will say one of the reasons people loved our characters was because we really represented success in marriage. But they saw all the bad times, they saw the warts and all. But once we got fan mail saying, when they were fooling around with maybe having my husband cheat on me, Mail that you wouldn't believe that they would never watch the show again if my husband, Mac MacKenzie, ever cheated on me. Then time went by and it became more and more soap opera because they found soap operas were so strong at that time that it was difficult for me. It really was. And I certainly don't mind a good soap opera. Most everything is a good soap opera when you see it, even if it's streaming. People know how to do that stuff, either well or not so well. But it became less and less fun for me, I will say, because I didn't sign up for it. And tell me, Michele.
Michele?
You're talking too much.
No, you're not. Not at all. I was trying to, while you were talking, I was listening, but I can do more than one thing at a time. And
I've heard that about you.
And it's true. Now I've lost my train of thought. I can't do two things at a time.
I know you're attracted to me, but
yes, I am.
Most people are. Go on.
Well, I'm not surprised. They don't have to talk. Did you start out on Broadway?
Yes.
On stage?
I did.
Promises?
No. Oh, they asked me to do it, though. I did not do it. That's interesting that you said it. It sounds so me, right?
Yes, it does. Because I remember seeing it in Chicago, and I thought you were the female lead at that time. But apparently I'm wrong.
You are wrong, and you are wrong once in a while.
No, frequently.
I will tell you the first thing. Okay, I did start on Broadway. I did a few shows before I was really noticed in How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. So that was the show that really recognized who is Michele Lee. Okay, I ended up doing the film, which doesn't ordinarily happen. And
which is a shame in a lot of cases.
Oh, of course. Definitely.
I could name a few.
Okay, I bet you can. We'll talk later over a cocktail, maybe. Am I flirting with you?
You're going to get me in trouble.
No. So I forgot what I was saying because I'm over 54.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I am.
Maybe you should go to 54 below.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
When I was singing a lot, because, talking about the musicals I did,
Mm-hmm.
I did start as an entertainer, a singer. My mother said I used to sing in the crib, and I'm not kidding. I always loved my voice. So I fell in love with singing, and I was known in junior high and high school as the entertainer. I always sang, and then I sang with bands and got paid my $30 a set or whatever it was to start for. Before, my father, who was a makeup artist, ask one question and go 5 podcasts. Okay. My father was a makeup artist. And knowing that I wanted to be in the business, he brought home a trade paper that said, the ad said, actors must sing, singers must act, actors must whatever's left. Okay? He said, I think if you want this, you're going to have to realize that it is very difficult. You got to get ready for all the slaps in the faces, and you're not right, and you can't do this. And I think your mom should take you for your first audition. So I went to the Ivar Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Right? In Hollywood.
On a little side street.
Right. I don't remember the street, but yeah. I mean, everybody
I think the street
knew
is Ivar.
Yeah. Yes.
What a coincidence.
God, see, you do have a brain.
I do. I'm not the scarecrow or anything, but I do have a brain.
Have a brain. So I went, no, you look like you want to interrupt me.
No. It's a wonderful little theater that...
Yeah.
I saw a show there that I was stunned. It was about, it was about AIDS. early on.
Oh, Angels, yeah.
No, it wasn't Angels. It was,
Angels in America. No.
oh, well.
We'll do this.
Kathy Bates was in it on the Ivar stage. Kathy Bates, Bruce Davison, Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, my God.
And I went to this little theater. I'm like, what are these people? These are huge people. What are they doing here? And then I saw them go next door to Michele's for pizza.
Of course, we always did.
Yeah.
No, the reason it was so good as all small theater or any theater, off-Broadway and otherwise regional, is because we discover things there. We do. And they might need little tweaks or a rewrite, but that's where we can observe and do what should be done. It's incredible. I'm going to tell you now the end of my story.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to
Okay.
interrupt.
Yes, you did. You love your face. And it's cute.
Thank you.
No, it is.
I
It
aspire to cute.
Right. I always have too, but now I'm a woman.
Please.
Okay. Anyway, so we walk into this theater, and the show was called Vintage 1960. I was going to college. Well, I'll tell you that. Oh, okay. Anyway, I walked in, and this director was jumping on. His name was Jonathan Lucas. Oh. It was like I was Marjorie Morningstar, and he was, who's opposite Marjorie Morningstar? Throw it at us, anybody. Gene, tap dancing Gene.
Gene Kelly.
Thank you. In the movie, okay? And I was so in love with him the moment I saw him. He was jumping on stage and off stage, just asking the actors to do this step or whatever. And I hadn't auditioned. So I was there with my mom, falling in love with him. He had a cowboy hat and short shorts and boots. And my mom told me later, he's not going to be someone for you. That was my learning experience. But I got on stage. I put 2 feet on the center tape. And I sang, "You Make Me Feel So Young," Frank Sinatra's 1.5 choruses, and tag. And the producers stood up to their feet and applauded me.
Wow, that's all it took.
Period. No, I'm serious. And then later that night, they called and they said, "You have this part." It was a review. I have this part, so I told my parents I should not maybe go to college and I should go right into the show, which I did. It ended up on Broadway. This show, it lasted only 8 nights.
Hey.
Right.
It's 8 nights you didn't have before.
But it was David Merrick who loved it and brought it to Broadway, and hence the end of the story is I became known on Broadway, and I did show after show, but first well known in How to Succeed. Subsequent to that, I'm sure the audience would love Wherever Your Camera Is. I am. Oh, hi there. I'm sure you'd like
They're not as big as they used to be. They're harder to find. I know it's out there.
I'm sure you all would like to hear this story. Especially, you ask one question, you're in trouble. Especially my award.
No kidding.
Yes.
Where did you pick that up?
Over there on the console.
Wasn't I a good straight man there?
Oh, you were so great. You were. Well, I was nominated once, actually, for Knots Landing. Thought I'd get that in there.
Oh,
They don't give a
yes,
damn,
they
but-
do.
Okay. Anyway, it was a nice touch. Thank you for recognizing me for all my awards.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm here to serve. What would you like?
A margarita without salt.
No, can't do no salt.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to like them with salt, but I don't do that anymore.
You ever say, "I no más"?
No more drinking for me.
Pobrecito.
Oh.
Pero it's the 5th soon, and we could all get
Shit-faced.
Mexican. Hopefully not that, but good food.
Been there, done that. Don't need to anymore. I just got over the headaches, for crying out loud.
Oh, my God,
And I've been
I
sober for 9 years. I mean, I just got over my hangover. Tell me.
9.
Yeah.
That's good.
And we'll be right back. If you'd like to be more involved with us at Still Here Hollywood, you definitely can. Just visit patreon.com/stillherehollywood. You can support us for as little as $3 a month. You can get our episodes a day before they post anywhere else. You can see what guests will be coming up and submit questions for them. You can even tell us what stars you want us to have on as guests. You'll see what goes on before and after the episode, plus exclusive behind-the-scenes info, pics, video, and more. Again, that's patreon.com/stillherehollywood. David Merrick, you mentioned David Merrick, the famous Broadway producer. He was known as a taskmaster.
Yes, but I didn't work for him. After this show, I never worked for him again. But he did ask me, I think I'm right about Promises. In fact, when he was in L.A., he'd say, "Can I come over?" And he would sit at the bar and we'd sit and talk and come with a couple of people. And he was, I believe truly he was enamored. And he saw something in me as a Broadway significant person. Unfortunately, I didn't follow through, honestly. As a woman of wearing many hats, I tend to wear all those hats and then get disinterested, or I want to try another hat on. And that's what I did. But I had many successes on Broadway, and I love the theater.
In particular, musicals?
In particular, musicals. However, the last play that I did was Tale of the Allergist's Wife with my dear, dear, wonderful friend Charles Bush. Do you know Charles?
Yes, I know Charles, and I'm going to call and tell him that you mentioned him on the podcast.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, yes, he'll be happy, too.
Oh, my gosh. I tell you, we still see each other after all these years.
He contacted me through E. He wrote me a note or something, a very flattering note. And I contacted him, and I said, whenever you pass through Chicago. And he passed through Chicago. He called me, and I went to see him perform at a little theater that I was on the board of directors for.
Which theater?
It was called Pride Plays and Films. It was a gay theater company.
It was,
and he came and he performed for us to help raise money.
Oh, that's
but
him.
he's just a terrific guy,
isn't he?
And we went out for Mexican afterwards.
Oh, good. We're all going out for Mexican on the 5th.
Speaking of, margarita no salt.
Oh, thank you.
And it's
No, really. Are you kidding? I can't. All of a sudden, she has a margarita in her hand.
Diet Coke.
George Clooney tequila in there.
Is this part of his tequila? No. I am serious. I know I'm talking way too much, but I'm having so much fun. And you do know when you know I'm going to go on
We can go
forever. You just sit back.
Good interviewers. Shut up and listen.
That be you.
That'd be me.
Oh my God, I am having fun.
Good.
Only because without this, I can't have. Oh, I'm going to put it down.
Here's a taste. No, you can keep it right there.
But they know I didn't have it before. George Clooney sent his tequila over to me. Always loved his wife.
What a beauty.
I'm sorry.
What was that face?
No, I
A
love.
mistake.
No, hopefully we weren't like rolling.
I do want to go back and clear one thing up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel obligated. I don't want the viewers to get the implication that Gene Kelly was G-A-Y. Because to my understanding, he was not. And just in case that came across that way.
Did I say anything about that?
No,
I
you
did.
mentioned that your mother said, you know, He's
Tell
Not
me
For
the name.
You, and
Oh, okay.
and I just,
And we're going to cut some of this out.
Yes, we
correct?
are, we
Okay, I don't think he was gay, but a lot of people did think.
yeah,
so
I
maybe
know.
he was.
Because of those shorts.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I heard Elton John. I saw an ad with Elton John this morning. It makes me think of this and Gene Kelly shorts. Conan O'Brien asked him to name his 5 favorite Elton John songs. And Elton John said, well, my favorite song is Your Ass is a Magnet to Me. And I thought, well, if anybody deserves that song, it's Gene Kelly.
Oh, my God. Oh, was he brilliant. Yeah, he was amazing. He was. Get me back on track.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
We were having George Clooney's tequila.
Oh, okay.
Does that remind you of a story about George that you might want to share?
No, I didn't. But, he does that tequila with his friend, I think.
Yes.
So, being that I mentioned it, I'm going to take one sip.
Okay. So, do you have a rating on that?
Oh, that's very good. And I have also a George Clooney story. It reminds me of something that happened between the two of us. Two of us. Okay. I was directing and had directed many of the Knots Landings. And George had just at that time started directing. And I had seen the first movie he directed. And lo and behold, I walk into the club, American Airlines, and there he is sitting there. So I just went up to him and I told him that I admired the movie. And we were on the same lot at one point of time when he was doing the early series he did. And he thanked me. The thing is that I think he felt safe with me immediately, or he never would have done what he did when we got on the plane.
Don't go away.
I was in, pardon me everybody, because it doesn't happen often, I was in first class, and George was in first class, and I was sitting there, and he turned back around to me. He was in the first row, which I find very uncomfortable, but he was in the first row. He looked back at me and he said, come on, sit here. Because, of course, he'd be sitting alone in the bulkhead, right? He does not want to be bothered. And I thought, oh, it was actually very sweet because I don't think he was doing it to flirt or pick me up or anything. He just enjoyed the fact I had talked to him a little bit about directing. And what I saw, and this is honestly true, what I saw with my intelligence about what he was doing, kind of an interesting conversation he'd like to have with me. So I sat down with him. We discussed his movie a little bit and what I thought in life about different directors, major directors. And it prompted him to get into a discussion with me that was a little bit personal. I don't mean him picking me up. I mean a little bit personal, telling me things about his life and people that he loved, not worrying about the fact that I was going to be a chatterbox, because I am not. I know it seems I might be, but I'm not. I hold many, many secrets. So he was telling me about his friendship with a few different people who are well known and why. And I could have gone off and told a lot of people, which I never have. Anyway, as we're trying, I have the New York Times. We were going to New York. And I thought, how can I keep up this conversation with George Clooney for all this time, right? So I picked up the New York Times and I started to go through the New York Times. So I go, la, 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 la. I really read the New York Times. And he was there, and, every once in a while I'd pick up the Times and start reading again. He started talking to me about dating and how I feel about dating and the kind of men I would date. And I said, a often I'm not asked out. He said, "You're kidding me." And I said, "No, really." I said, "I think men are a little bit afraid of someone who feels a little too dynamic and a little too, I'll use the word powerful because I was a little too successful, who has the personality of someone who's out there." I don't blame men. I think that could be very scary, especially men who might not feel that they have enough comfort in the bank, even if it's all that new money stuff. So he said, "No, you're kidding." And I was getting up to go to the ladies' room, and he said, "Have you ever thought of dating a younger man?"
Draw your own conclusions, folks.
He was younger than me. And I thought, holy... That was Donald Duck, by the way.
Okay.
I did Donald Duck a long time, but they fired me.
I don't believe you,
It's just...
but go
why?
ahead.
So I thought, oh no, he's asking me out. It really felt... Because I was standing and he looked up at me, had a look on his face, and he said, but have you ever dated a younger man? And I thought fast, and I thought, or would you be interested in dating a younger man? I said, no, oh God, help me. I said, no, I haven't. It's like I'm not attracted to them. Oh, I'm so lying right now.
Oh,
No. So we get off the plane. I went back. I sat with him. Get off the plane. He's having a car pick him up. I'm standing by the luggage. And he says to me, "Come here for a minute." And he says to me, "Now you can tell all of your friends that George Clooney kept trying to talk to you and you kept putting that GD New York Times over your eyes so I wouldn't have to deal with it." And that was then, and we hugged, and it was him actually saying there was interest.
have you seen him since?
I think he locked me out of his home. I went twice, knocked on the door, and his wife with the twins were at the door saying, "You shan't come in," with an accent. Next question, please.
Oh, I wasn't ready for you to be done.
Finish.
Please.
I gotta hold it on. Okay.
Let me go back just briefly to Knots Landing.
Okay.
How much of Karen was you?
I think, you know what happens on many of these shows of all kinds? The writers start writing toward what you're giving them. So I think Karen, they wished Karen to start with to be someone who was ultimately Karen, someone who was strong, someone who believed in the good of people, someone who lived behind a picket fence, but who would defend anybody in trouble. She was one who worked for Woman's Lib at a time when living wasn't so living, but equal pay, all that stuff, and standing up for a gay man who was going to be fired. This is early on, by the way, without us saying gay. He was a man that was being fired from the school district. And I don't know how, I don't remember how we handled it, but that was Karen. And what happened was they pick up on what you're giving them as the character, and they start writing toward the character. So there's kind of this, here comes the church. No, it's kind of this, wonderful thing that happens. And actually, David Jacobs, who was the creator and writer and executive producer, along with Michael Filerman, used to write Karen. He was brilliant at writing Karen. So at that certain time, I was in heaven. I was so in heaven. But what was your... how much she was
yeah.
of me. Yeah, and we had, as I started to tell you before, a sense of humor about our characters. We had the fun of the yin and the yang and the blessings of this humor between the people that I had close to me on the characters that I had close to me on the set. But the march of time after 14 years did a lot. Anyway, we went through 4 presidents. So if you start feeling the country changing as we are right now, I don't want to be political.
I gotcha.
But I will say, there's Reaganism, the 80s, the people who want to be close to money and tiaras and all those things. We always used to say about Knots Landing that we were at home watching on our television all those shows, Dynasty and Dallas, but we weren't them. We were the ones that were kind of interested in that new world. I don't know. Have we gone through 3 podcasts yet?
No, we haven't. I'll tell you when you're done.
Okay. Oh, at least he does that.
Okay. My mind wants to go someplace else sometimes, and I just can't. Mouth and
Tell
mind
me.
can be dangerous.
Uh-oh. Am I flirting with you?
No, damn it. Any on-set pranks or stories you care to share that were a little odd or funny?
Okay, I'm going to tell you one that was the character that Donna Mills played was Abby, and she was the JR of Knots Landing. Mm-hmm. Ted Shackelford, who was an incredible actor, who was married originally, the character, to Joan Van Ark, kind of was swept away by Abby. And one day he was in the shower, and the scene was played with Abby outside the shower, sharing this discussion with him. And at one point he opens the shower and comes out putting the towel around him, and they continue. So we were actually shooting. Everybody knew what was going to happen. And so what happened was Donna was ignorant as to what was going to happen, and she was talking to him in the scene, and the shower curtains opened, and he was totally top to bottom nude. Donna was purple, green, and yellow, which I always thought was a great combination.
Works for the rainbow.
And no, that we would do things like that all the time. On one of the birthdays, and then we would record it.
Oh.
Okay? So we have these delicious outtakes.
I'll bet.
And for a long time, I didn't want them out, the outtakes, the gag reels, because I felt, honestly, that our audience was so true to what was happening in that show that the outtakes would destroy it somehow, that they needed to live within the cul-de-sac. And I find that terribly interesting.
Yes.
Back to George.
No, not back to George.
Okay.
He can have his own podcast if he wants, with interesting guests.
We have a podcast.
Yeah, tell me about that. That's one of the things I
Okay.
want to ask about, as long as you brought it up.
Yeah, we do. Joan Van Ark and Donna Mills and I, the three ladies from Knots Landing, have decided to do a podcast. Now, let me say this, and a lot of people out there know, I was trying to back away from a lot of the Knots Landing PR stuff because nobody seemed to know who I was before Knots Landing. I did so much before it's always, oh, Michele Lee, Knots Landing, Knots Landing. Give me a break. Can you say Michele Lee from the theater or the first Love Bug?
That's right.
I had a
with
helmet
Dean Jones?
on. With Dean Jones, yeah. And How to Succeed. Anyway, they don't know. It's Knots Landing. So people were asking us so often to do Knots Landing things, many of them I did not do. And all of a sudden, it was this podcast. And I will tell you, we had received so much mail about...
yeah. I've heard this being said of shows, other shows that are building up podcasts around what has been. Yeah, there's a thirst, a hunger for it.
And I think, why do you think, first, it might be happening now?
Well, because we're living in a very turbulent time.
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing. I think it's true.
A lot of us would like to make America truly great again.
Right. You're right. We want to go back to a simpler time.
Yep.
And thinking of a simpler time, what's so interesting about Knots Landing, because it was on for so long, when we first started, there were many, many scenes in Karen's kitchen where Valine, who lived next door, who was her best friend, would come in the back door, unlocked, and say, "Hi, Karen, I'm here. How about having some coffee?" And I go, "Oh, coming." And we would meet in the kitchen and talk about life with our coffee. As time went by and things got not so great, we had to lock our doors on the show. She could not come in anymore unannounced. And Michele, in her life, when I lived... we came from a lower middle class to middle class family. We had in our kitchen a nook. We were sitting around the nook for dinner and whatever. And my Aunt Ethel, who was great at cooking pies, and she knew my lemon meringue pie was the favorite, would come knock on the back door and say hi to my mom. "It's Ethel, I've got a pie." Same thing, right? As time progressed, it became what it is today. And, we're all strained. And I think you're right. I think people want to go back to the simplicity, of that time when we could just laugh and turn on a variety show. Hello. And I think that's why the shows that are called Variety today, which is The Voice and others, they're entertainment. They're easy, simple entertainment. You don't need Ed Sullivan. They're there and we're enjoying it. That's the reason.
But...
Don't say but to me.
But don't sell yourself short, and I'm sure you're not. But when you say, can't they say Michele without saying Knots Landing? It's better to be known for something than nothing.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, you've got something to really hold on to. You have a body of work to really...
I do, but I'd like people to know the body of work is simply what I'm saying. I don't know. It might be my ego, and I'm serious. It might be.
Ego is a healthy thing when it doesn't get out of control.
You're so correct. And that's why I love when I see people standing up for themselves. That doesn't happen often either. People kind of become complacent and they go along with the other sheep. Are we getting too heady
No,
here?
I don't think so. No. I haven't heard one person tune out. Not one.
I could give you a little makeup Listen now.
Oh.
I'm lying.
Oh, okay. You made me nervous. Steve, you look a fright. How have you seen Hollywood change for women since you came on the scene? A lot, I would imagine.
Yeah, it has. It has. When I first started I'll use directing, okay, as an example.
Okay.
When I started directing, and I did a lot more than Knots Landing, the men were not overly thrilled. They weren't, and it certainly was before the women started to direct, and people realized how brilliant women were at directing films and things that they were lauded for. So when I directed, even in Knots Landing and outside of Knots Landing, the men had a tough time with it. And you could feel it. It wasn't that they had to say anything to you, but you would see people doing their little whatever, talking to people. On Knots Landing, the wonderful thing about it, speaking of directing, was that there was no pattern for directors. They could do whatever they wanted to do. So I was breaking some of the rules that directors might have done on any other show. I was taking out walls of scenery that shouldn't have been and would take a little more time but I did it knowing that the audience has no idea what I just said. But there's some scenes where walls are easily taken out because of the way they're made, and there's others that are difficult. They granted me anything I wanted to do, and I think they enjoyed what I wanted to do. But the men were always, we're not going to get home at 6 tonight. You know, I was allowed to just do it. And everywhere else. Now, today, women are given a chance in anything, whether it's stage, anything. If it's stage or film or anything, and I don't mean just directing. I mean owning your show, which, by the way, I've done also with some of my movies. I own some of my movies. But anyway, I don't want to keep going on about this, but you ask a question that you know the answer for, and it is true. Women have gone straight up. They know what they're doing, and people are now understanding.
Finally.
Right?
I feel like we didn't complete that. Tell me about your podcast and the three of you sitting around, and what's the basis of it?
Okay, the basis was our Knots Landing friends, audience wanted more Knots Landing. And they kept asking, and finally we said, okay, we'll do a podcast. We talk not just about at first, the first couple of shows we did was all Knots Landing. Now we do anything. We talk about anything in life. We do, stay away from politics because that's an issue. It's too frightening.
There's no
winning.
winning.
In all ways. There's no winning.
Yeah.
You're right or wrong, or you're up, doesn't matter. Not good. In your own home, maybe. But we talk about things that are fun. We talk about things that are ultimately female or just male. And people have been loving the show. They love it, and more people, as you did, and I love you for doing it, ask to talk to us individually or together to get a little understanding of who are we talking about. You might have asked for me anyway without Knots Landing, but it's like we're a buzz right now. You know, there's things happening, and I'm very tired. I love that I said yes to you, however, and they don't know it, but this is a Sunday.
Yes, it is a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
With George.
He's very knowledgeable about the theater.
Yes.
But no, it's true. You know, normally I wouldn't do it, but of course it's you. And I'm serious. I think it's wonderful for us now to be able to talk to people with a real voice. And those people who want to hear who we're all about can. The thing that Donna, Joan, and I are doing, it's called We're Not, with a K, We're Not Done Yet. WKDY. At Gmail or anywhere else you want to find it. If you want to find it, you put those initials in there, and you will somewhere. We're all over the place.
Tell me again.
We're not K.
WK.
Done. D.
Yet.
Y.
Okay. So that folks can check it out if they want to.
And if they want to talk to me at all, they can reach me at, this is such an actress thing I'm doing now. But they could reach me on Instagram. Does anyone do this?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. At the Michele Lee. That's all I'm going to say. They'll find me. I'm all over other places, too.
All right. What gives you joy these days?
The sense of humor, the laughing. That gives me joy. And one other thing I have to say. A lot of people will understand this. My dog, Emma. See, having that dog for me really has saved me. Because so often, all of us, not just for me, and I just go for the joke, we're depressed. A lot of us have been through, between that disease we walked around with, our masks and everything, and political drama that we've all been through one way or the other. It's difficult. I have Emma. And Emma, who was very pissed at me that I was walking out of that, she knew it was Sunday.
Yes.
She thought, wait
just a minute. What kind of a dog is Emma?
She's, I was going to say cockapoo, but she's not. She's a multi-poo.
Oh, a multi-poo.
And she's this
Cute.
big. Oh, my God. When she looks at me, you are too good to be true.
You're talking to a person who loves dogs.
Oh, my God, honey.
I have to bring, Jim bought this sweater because it's my uniform. But whenever I get here, I'm covered in white.
Of course.
Because the dogs on the bed go right to my clothes.
And my dog sleeps with me. Do your dog or dogs sleep with?
Yes.
Come on, we're a group. You're part of my family.
Right.
And I'm serious. And when I say she saved my life, I'm alone living in the house. And I'm alone living in a house, period. I talk to this dog like she's living with me. I'll just walk around there and go, okay, honey, we're going down to the office. And to run into the office, I open doors to a patio, and I go, you want to go out? And then she scratches. You're ready to come in, honey. Okay. It's like you constantly are talking to that dog that looks at you with such love.
And devotion.
Yeah. No, you know what? It should happen to everybody, whether it's a cat or a dog. I think they save our lives. And sometimes, what are the other pigs? People are doing pigs now. Okay. But we love pigs.
Oh, we do? Gotcha.
No, I'm not going to say that. I have friends that have pigs.
Oh, okay.
And I understand they're wonderful animals. It's so nice to have an animal. When you study them, you realize what life is because they know. And I'm not crazy. I'm not a crazy person. They know, they understand, and they understand what you're saying.
They do. They truly do.
Yeah. And then let me tell you one thing that I'm sure the audience wants to take home with them.
They're probably already home.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were making another remark. Anyway, in bed with no sound.
No
okay.
sound.
No, I play with my dog, something that people would love to play with their dogs. I play something called, get ready, sniff, sniff with my dog. She understands. When I say we're going to play sniff, sniff, she's rolling over and she knows. And I don't roll over these days anymore. Okay. I didn't want to get there, but okay. Now, George, are you hearing? Anyway.
I'm afraid to ask, what is she sniffing?
Okay. Have we gone through everything
No, we
in
haven't.
the dictionary?
No.
I want 2 shows, not 1.
Back with more in a moment. When you look at your remarkable journey from Broadway to prime time, what jumps out at you? What are you most proud of?
There was a show I did, very difficult. It was called Seesaw on Broadway. It was adapted from Two for the Seesaw by William Gibson. And I played the lead character in it, but I had very little time to learn it. And it was out of town. It was in trouble. They asked me to come in and see it. And I did. And almost everybody in the show was let go. And Michael Bennett, who was the director, took over. And I learned the role and all of the changes that were happening daily in 2 weeks before opening on Broadway. Nobody can do that. And all the songs and some changes in songs. And I think in a way there's a whole audience, mostly gay, honestly, that know me from that show, Seesaw. Brilliant score by Coleman, Cy Coleman.
Cy Coleman
yeah.
and Lee Strauss.
Dorothy Fields.
Oh, Dorothy Fields.
Yeah. And everybody loved the show. The music's incredible. And I was Tony nominated and a few other things. I won like the Drama Desk Award for Best Actor in a Play. It wasn't as known as some of the others I did, but the trauma I went through to learn that show and did learn it is something that I'm very proud of. And you?
And me, I'm listening to you.
I know, it's so nice to have your full attention.
Oh, you do. One of the things I'd like to ask you about, you were married to the great James Ferrantino.
Yeah. But you almost said Franciosa,
Yes,
which
it was
did
just-
happen.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That
but-
happened too?
No, I never did him.
Okay.
Sorry.
You want to tell me who you did? I'd hate to think we crossed paths.
No, Jim Ferrantino, who was a wonderful actor, and my child, David Ferrantino, is my one child.
Happy
with
Mother's
Jim.
Day.
Thank you. And guess what?
What?
I have my first grandchild.
Congratulations.
It's everything they always talk about, which you always say, well, you can't talk about your grandchild. It is. Her name is Gianna. Gianna Gigi Ferrantino, and she's 4.5 years old. And the other day I asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she said, a professional hairstylist, 4.5, a chef, or a dog walker. Very seriously. She is so funny. But yeah, the interesting thing about Jim Ferrantino and me, he was the love of my life. He was. And I stayed emotionally tied to him till the day he died. And loved his wife. He was married a few times after me. And his wife, Stella, his last wife, and I became very friendly because she understood the connection. And as a matter of fact, when Jim passed away, I know it's hard for people to believe, but I was in the room in the hospital when he passed away, along with Stella and her sister. And she was in bed with Jim, Stella, just beside him, and I was on the floor holding the hand closest to me because I know this sounds funny, but I didn't want to steal focus for her.
Right.
And so I was down on the floor holding his hand because I had to be there when he passed away. And
Emotionally for you,
yeah,
it was important to you.
yes, it was important to me. And I'm not even sure he knew I was there, but I visited him a lot in the hospital.
Was he in the hospital
He
a long
knew that.
time?
It then not so, but during the course of his life, yes. And although he had problems with drugs and alcohol, which caused him to be in the hospital more than once, he died of emphysema, which he never was without a cigarette in his hand.
I was going to say, I remember seeing him once down in Laguna Beach. He was by himself, but it was a lot of smoking.
Was it in the hotel or was he?
No, it was on the street.
Oh yeah, constantly smoking.
Yeah.
You know, I used to smoke. It's a tough one.
Me too, I did too.
You actually gave it up?
Yes, 1992, I remember, because I believe that was the year when California banned smoking in public places.
Oh my! I was in New York, but it was the same thing. What did they do? I quit also.
Well, you know, when you're working in a newsroom and you're on a deadline, and you're trying to think of a word.
Yeah, right. That helps.
Yeah, it does.
And it did help me to stay in shape, thin, probably not in shape.
Maybe
long.
I should take up smoking again.
I know it was easier.
You glad
When
you
I quit, I would have to, if I was out for dinner, that was after dinner. You're in a restaurant, you had to smoke, and we were allowed to.
Or you're on the phone.
I would get up, I'd say, I'll see you in a little bit. I would go outside and walk around the block and come back, and then I was kind of okay. Now, are we on our third podcast?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so I have one more story about quitting smoking. Okay, once I quit cold turkey. That was not fun. And once I went to a doctor, a female doctor, who took care of cancer patients. And what she would do with me, and I did quit with her, she allowed you to smoke for X amount of time, starting with X amount of cigarettes a day that you would start with. And then every time you saw her, she would take away cigarettes. So you were coming down from the nicotine as you would in anything you were addicted to, okay? And I remember, and then she would record you in her studio smoking. You would light a cigarette and she would say, okay, take a deep breath in. Do you feel the burning? Do you feel it in the back of your throat? Okay. And she would consistently talk about the negatives. And then she would have you at home before you would go back to her again, play the tape while you were smoking. Interesting, huh? At last, when I had one cigarette, oh my God. Can you imagine being a smoker and having one cigarette left? And once you do that, you're done. And so the coffee and a cigarette in the morning, dinner, cigarette. So how do I make that work with one? Right? So you take a couple of puffs and you put it down.
You're kidding.
And my dog, but no. Put it down. I'd wait. And I would have a week. And I'd wait, and I would do another one. And then I came to her, and I said, you got to give me one more week again for one cigarette. You have to give me one more week. And she did. But I haven't smoked since then.
I went through the American Lung Association. They were offering a quit smoking clinic at Glendale Memorial Hospital, I think it was. But I got so frustrated with the way they wanted you to quit. You know, whenever you pick up a cigarette and light it, write down what song's on the radio, what you were doing, what you're thinking of. I'm like, who has time for this?
That's
so
how they did it.
I just stopped.
Yeah,
I
don't
didn't even
want to
take
go
the whole
through
thing.
this anymore. I'm not going to write. I won't have a cigarette because you're making me write this down. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
You stopped everything that might be unhealthy.
Well, it's been, 33 years.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not even
Oh,
that
and
old.
9. Yeah, right. Maybe you didn't want that out to the world, but hey.
Hey, whatever. You're wonderful.
And you are too. When I
Richard
tell you,
Kind said we'd have a blast with you, that you were a great, and he meant this in the best possible way, a great broad. There you go. You said it first. Yeah, he just sang your praises.
No, that's right. I had so much fun.
Oh, so did I.
did. You know, it's difficult with all people to have that much fun. You passed.
Oh, thank you. That's a relief.
Oh.
So did you.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed it. I was looking forward to talking to you so much today because Tommy over here, she may have said something to you. She asked me. She's trying to getting into the business and around the business, and her mother's in the business, and so she was asking me, "Who are you looking forward to interviewing today?" And I said, Michele Lee, without a doubt, Michele Lee. Even though we did Richard this morning, and he was great. But I said,
great.
Michele Lee's been around a long time. I'm certain she has great stories. And I just, when I've seen her on interviews, she's just so engaging.
Are we on the air?
Well, we're not on the air, but
Yeah. I mean, air. We're still rolling.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Okay, then I can't say what I was going
Okay. Weren't you a favorite guest of Johnny Carson's? Didn't he used to have you
No,
on?
not favorite, but I did a few times. And, I think we did work together once. I think or not.
We've
But
already talked
everybody
about
knew
your
you.
memory and mine.
Right. No, everybody knew you, but I thought maybe you...
Transitioned.
Right.
No, it didn't do that.
No, I thought, and I could be totally wrong, I thought maybe you said on the air that you liked one of the movies I did or not, and thought...
That's for television, not for movies.
Never mind.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
also like this ring.
Oh, it's cute, right?
And if anybody gets fresh, you can haul off and slug them.
Yeah.
What stone is that? Do you know?
An orange brownstone.
There you go.
I've always wanted an orange brownstone. In New York, however.
Oh. Brownstone. Not groundstone. Brownstone.
It's right. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Michele.
Thank you so much.
You can finish your drink.
I don't want it now.
Oh,
It was good for a joke.
okay. I understand
Thank
that,
you.
too. Anything
Thank you.
for a laugh.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
Still Here Hollywood is a production of the Still Here Network. All things technical run by Justin Zangerly. Theme music by Brian Sanishin. And executive producer is Jim Lichtenstein.